fuck is this? Paging me. 5:46 in the morning. Crack of dawn. Now I'm yawning. Wiping coals out my eyes. See who's paging me. And why? It's my neighbor Pop from the barber shop. Told me he's in the gambling spot. Heard the intricate plot. Neighbors wanna stick me like flypaper caper. Slow down, love, chill, drop the caper. Remember them neighbors from the hill? Down in Brownsville? You got nice little Brownsville, got nice head. Yeah, that's my neighbor. No, that's my neighbor. Yeah, no disrespect. I didn't say, damn. They schooled me to some neighbors that you knew from back then when you was clocking minor face. Now I heard you going up like nitro, blowing up like nitro, and you want to drop a knife to windpipe slow. That thumbnail is cool. This Linen LaRouche. Of course, it's a good scene. So I looked at him. I've been hunting through this stuff. He gets really coherent at sometimes. Like that's around that time. He's like, it's really coherent for a while. And man, he's like that New England. Say he's born up in New Hampshire, Manchester. Then he lived in Lynn. Now my family founded Lynn. Saugus and Lynn. The Hawkses, Adam Hawks. The original settler. And that was up in the district with Salem and stuff. So he founded Boston, but he didn't. He stayed in the old camp in Charleston, and he was a cow commissioner. Then he took off and went up and founded Lynn and had the, got rich. All stuff. They were like the last slaveholders. My family, Ebenezer Hawks. Ebenezer Hawks. He was maybe the last slaveholder in Massachusetts. He was up in Lynn, I think. So Linen LaRouche is named Lynn. That's kind of weird. And it's all that stuff. Let me see how I might go. Okay, so I had a dream. I woke up from a dream. I had a dream. I was looking at video and stuff about the Hare Krishna movement in Boston, ISKCON. I made my old footage and looking and thinking. Then it got to like I'm looking around in the car. Probably I'm seated in the driver's seat, but that can be kind of iffy. Or the passenger leaning up from the back. But I'm supposed to be driving, it ends up. That's the problem. And I'm looking around on the foot part, I guess. Like you're not supposed to do that. Like a soda bottle rolled over, right? And you're driving down the road and you don't know. So I get up and I sit up and I'm like, God, I'm going down the road. And it's like down. It seems like, and the feeling is totally like those mountains. If you go, if you're in New York City, and you go kind of west and go up through the mountains, to come up that way, and go through those New York mountains, and then down and the whole thing, and all that stuff. So I'm going down one of those like steep things, and and I've been sleeping, driving. I'm supposed to be driving, and there's a car in front, swerving back and forth way up there, and it's one of those professional driving cars, like they have down here. Like on the Eclipse Week, they're showing it off like a lot. And then I realized after I woke up, he'd be driving, letting me he could probably keep me from crashing. And they know all the shit. They know all the weight of their car, how the shit would hit the minivan, and if it would spin out or if I'd wake up. They game that stuff out. I guarantee you they do. You'll see if they ever do. They'll be doing everything on the road. They'll know everything. Tip you here, tip you there. Or make it good. But, okay, so I look. And then because he was swerving back and forth on the way up there, and he got off the road. Because it's like they knew I woke up. And so he's done with me. And then I woke up for real. So the dream, like the root of the dream is probably like I don't want to wake up anyway, so I'm having a dream like I'm not waking up or something, all that kind of stuff. So I woke up and I wasn't really thinking, and I thought Ira Axelrod came to my mind. And I haven't thought about him. I thought about him like a few weeks ago, but I haven't thought of him. So Ira Axelrod. And then I thought, because he's like the original Scared Straight. The Scared Straight Jew. Right? The Holocaust is not over. It wasn't over. I've said that before. Yeah. There's nothing about him. Like, he's all disappeared. He's not on the internet. You can see that he existed. There's some legal case that's got to be him. But he wore the same coat. Maybe from the 1950s or something. And they had me go around with him a little bit. Like, man, I always remember, if you want to be like... So that's what got me thinking about my mom and everything. And what they did. And the shit they did to my dad. And, because it's all the way. Like, I just gotta say, so my family up in, not my family. Those people, my dad's side. So my cousin, like, I remember when the eclipse, I was saying, it looks like my cousin's the CIA, right? Coming out of the woodwork, out of every drawer, you open up every drawer or something. And I haven't seen her since I was like 12. I don't know anything. I just like it came out. I know, So like there's some thing, and it's kind of bullshit because they were fucking. It's not like some error. They just like slack and it's bullshit, man. The whole thing is orchestrated up on that end. I'm down in Illinois. The divorce is cooking in, and they got it up on that end, and they get whatever. It's good, and throw my mom under the bus. And my brother and me, the whole fucking thing, grind it the fuck up. But so yeah, it's my uncle. Is a dad. Married my dad's sister, and he was the head of the Unitarian Church. He worked up on Beacon Hill, the big head chairman of all Unitarian Church for everywhere. He's the last Universalist minister ordained. Universal salvation. Everyone goes to heaven, and until they merge with the Unitarians. So he's the last ordained as Universalist. And thought he'd be up there on the fucking hill up there, so I never fucking saw them. I don't care. I talked to him once on the phone. I had to drink some beer to talk. Or I had 2 beers to call, or however much it was. Or was I? Maybe not. I said something blah, 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 and it shouldn't be anything bad. It's funny. Like I said, look, okay, one of my early memories is a bad lightning storm. And he yelled, like, fuck you, God. Really loud, and it's lightning, because we were getting really scared. And it was all quiet, no lightning. Then he said, something can say it. I think it's we Unitarian Universalists can say it, or maybe we Universalists can say that, because it's some big word I didn't know. Then instantly, it was like, bam! Lightning hit the transformer next to the house or whatever, and just knocked out all the electricity, went black. So that's all stuck out. So I told him that. It's supposed to be funny and shit. And he's like, oh, he says, yeah, I was heavy drinking. And he has this line. It's like, I realize that now he's got the fucking prepared line. Like, you know what Courtney Love does after she has to be like, I was bad. You know, it's like, you know, they can just like crap on themselves. I used to think it was just a narcissistic thing, and they can switch over like my dad does that. And like condemn all past things like they're not that. But it's also trained. You know, there's something really bad. He replaced my dad because he ends up being, my grandfather's a Unitarian minister, and then my dad was going to be, and my dad said once, he said, someday I'll tell you, fucking is this swimming pool? Okay, I gotta come back. It's supposed to be just that dark blue. It's supposed to, I gotta do the setting. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, there's supposed to be one setting. Got it. I kept going because it's supposed to be like, you get it. There's a steady setting, so one is supposed to be blue. And then you can do it again and it's darker blue. I went through a cycle. Alright, so I'm not gonna, otherwise, that's why it might get darker, but this is probably pretty good, right? Jesus is fine, right? These cameras are crap. Okay, so, yeah, my dad got replaced. My dad's gonna tell me, like, someday I'll tell you something, you know, about this thing, because he's all on the hook with my uncle. He's all got the naughty or something. I was like, fuck it, I don't care. He's like, my uncle, yeah, he stood up for me once. He said, there's something, and he said I was with him, so I didn't do the thing, you know, some stupid drunk shit. Like, you know, the frat boy thing, like going, you know, stealing the mascot or something like that. Yeah, that's with him, he saved me. And I'd probably get kicked out of the fucking Bible college, the fucking Unitarian fucking shit, right? Or it kind of goes out from there and it's all worked, all the motherfuckers, right? And so it's like, then it was my uncle who's a minister. I was like, and my dad became a sociologist. First he was doing electrical stuff. For a little while he went to Boston University and he worked at Radio Shack. That's the original Radio Shack on Com Ave. So that's all the shit, you know. That's the shit. So all with that, they're fucking lying, man. Okay, so back to, yeah, they knew the shit. Okay, so I remember like odd things, like oddities. One was odd. The one time that it was like some abuse thing, he threw a cup at me and hit me in the head and it started bleeding. And as far as like, I don't know, there may be a hitting here and there one, well, it's not really that bad, he's kind of restrained. And it's a thing, and that thing that would like not continue, but there's like the ritualized spanking and shit, all that. That'd be a thing, but, and going too far, because I get, like I break and I can't breathe. I was worrying I'm gonna suffocate or something. But it's like nothing compared to what, you know, is the normal from the old days. I was spanked on the side of the road, you know, like, I used to think, you know, I don't know, like the cars are going by, you gotta pull over and spank the kid on the side of the road. That happened once. That is so funny. Oh my God, I think that was an accident too. I think it was an accident. I was like playing with a handkerchief and I was in my seatbelt, couldn't move. And so it started floating. It floated up and went down over his head. Maybe he didn't even want to stop to think of it. He didn't want to figure it out. It's like spanking on the side of the road. And it's so satisfying. And then you're driving. Again, the whole family was in the car. My mom was in the front seat. My brother was sitting next to me. But they used to drive around in an old car. He said when he was a kid, and the grandfather was a minister, but he smoked cigars and pipes. And they'd have to be in the car, like feeling sick in this weird old, like fucking Model T or whatever the fuck it was. Not like that, but you know. So he threw the cup. And there's nothing that compares to that. Because that's always, they'd be like, even back then, it's like, oh, that's all the way bad. It's not even like your proper spanking for him or something. It's like, because he's got frustrated. He was at the picnic table and started picking up stuff and throwing it at me. Like as though he's cleaning off the table. And it hit me just strategically. Right then, it's like, bonk, okay? And I'm crying, right? And right then, this guy walked around the side of the house, some guy from the sociology department or something. Okay, so that timing, okay, so he comes around the side, and the guy, and my dad's like, oh, he just bumped his head or something. And I didn't say anything like that. My dad actually had to lie in front of me the only time he ever did, and the only time he ever had to lose face like that. And do a thing, and it totally fixed things in some ways, I guess, or no, they were doing it though. But that timing, that motherfucker, that was like worked out. And they were gonna like, maybe it could go, but that was a perfect moment. Maybe like lots of moments. They got all line of sight when the motherfucker, you know, got like go, right? And they got my dad tweaked. Maybe talking about him on the phone, something about the girlfriend or something or you suck or you're fucking saying, because it's around 75 or something. God, was it 75, 76? Like right before, you know, the affair and the divorce. So we're working him up with that and getting frustrations up and down. Maybe a little earlier. No, it's earlier than that. No, it's way earlier than that. Kind of earlier. Okay, but it's still not way early, a couple. And he painted the house too at one point. It was a little after. But that motherfucker, they timed that shit. And they worked him and frustrated him, and they worked it. And they had that was their perfect fucking moment, I swear to fucking God. They have line of sight, observation and shit, and the guy got to go. Because otherwise he's just kind of hanging around or parked, maybe in our driveway. You know, it's the timing. And he had just that perfect moment. You know, but it was like, and it was their great score. And the way he reacted, he was a little happy. Like the guy, not like a shock. It's like, I caught a fish. Like it's that. And like, and instead of like, I'm standing there innocently with a piece of string in the water, and all of a sudden there's a fish. Oh my God, it's stuck. And it's like one surprise. It was like it can't happen. It's like, wow. Ooh. You know, that little pride, that conceited thing and that smile, and it always stuck me because I fucking remember this shit. I've squirreled this shit away. So it was that. These fuckers were working at that. They were working with my dad on the phone and all kinds of shit. Because Overlook Hotel, if you look at my dad's old pictures, he's that Jack Nicholson character. It's like all that shit, and they fucking work him. So that's that. And it's good. Yeah. Damn, man. So, yeah. Yeah, so they're working it. They're working it. On the other end, too. Because that Massachusetts stuff, I don't know how that all works. But like, whole intelligence, Cold War, like before World War II. Lyndon LaRouche, God, that guy's really smart. He's really slick. And like all this acting, I don't know what the hell. He even hangs out with Roger Stone. He went with like Alex Jones and all those guys. Oh, and Lyndon LaRouche does that in MI6 duck speak a little bit, some of the shit. I don't even know how anything fucking would work with all the shit. And maybe they're just like, it ends up being a lot of independent actors and they outsource, or they can be working one thing or another, looking for grants and funding or getting in trouble. And it's not just like, oh, something's working for something. Like all the way from the beginning. But that's that. Like, fuck. See, the more I say, like, the more I talk, like, because you all don't know, or some, but it's like, you don't know if I'm just lying, like everyone, like I really know something, or if I'm just Mr. Pure Innocent, pure as the driven snow, and I'm just finding out. And, like, you gotta keep it open as an idea, or even a good, somewhat likely idea. And, and this gives you, because you probably don't just think one theory or the other. It's like multiple possibilities. So this possibility is one of the things, and it also might not get so different. Like, am I know something or not? Because you maybe don't know it. Like most of these guys probably get work, they don't know it. It's like someone's always doing some activity on them. I'm telling you, like that's some weird history where I get dumped. Okay. Dumped out, and my dad dumps me out when I'm 21, like down in Florida, down in the fucking Everglades. And I had my bicycle and some camping stuff, so I was down there. Then I could start coming out of the woods, and I go to the homestead. And so, like, did they put me down there, and is it just a land and homestead, or what? I've landed for a while, forever, and there's gotta be different factions, because that's the real shit there, and I don't even fucking know. Like, I probably take by surprise. Oh, I know all the things, like when I say my cousin's CIA or something, I think it was the Bigfoots, and fly around and flying saucer. And like these little Tweety birds, I guess you get the rainy season, I ain't get enough of that. And that's some shit, that's homestead shit. And you won't know it, like you gotta know that to know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, why even say Bigfoot? And like, what would it be? But if you know, like, yeah, it'll be there. Like, what is it? Bigfoot. Oh, and a CIA lady. Like, what? You know what I mean? What do they do? The imprint. And that's Colby. That's William Colby. That's the Phoenix program. Because he told me, that's why I'm supposed to be a reporter. That's the only time they've really broke cover all the way. And I tell you guys, I already did that one, right? Like, because of the guy with the typewriter out in the middle of the ghetto. He's like Sidney Poitier in the middle of the ghetto, in the middle of a building, typing away, and looks over at something. In a big room all alone, probably a Vietnam typewriter. I had one of those portable typewriters once. Got thrown away though. The Vietnam one they used on portable. Didn't have that top metal thing that goes on the top of the keys. But yeah, the rest of it, I threw it away. I can't fucking, it's like with a goat's path and the fox's home. That's one thing in my sixth, maybe I memorized all T.S. Eliot. Like, I could probably get it so I could just start reciting it. But if I have the book, I'll tell you what's, at the end of, every line once I get started, get prompts and stuff. Man, I call it MI6, but I don't know. So how that shit works. So yeah, it did just kind of ditch my mom. And I think, okay, so they gave me tularemia. You guys know, because that'll verify. You go just in the stuff in the medical schools, veterinary science, and this thing, and it'll fit. And especially because some of that stuff's kind of public front facing or whatever. The CIA lady, retired literally, and then like I was saying, so they fucking did that. It's fucking crazy. And that kind of makes sense why they had the crazy that came out of the medical school, the really bad guy, the one, bad, kind of part of the crazy or the cover or the whatever the dysfunction they do. But say, oh yeah, so I was 3 years behind on sexually maturing. Okay, and I think my brother was about the same, which is weird. Okay, now I'm just saying it's just in case there's an off chance. Okay, so it starts out 6 months delay, and by the time it's puberty, by the time I'm 16, it's maybe 3 years. So and maybe it gets down to 2.5 at the end. But there's a part where it's 3. Okay, so you could go so that initial thing, right when you hit 12 or before, there's a first thing happens, that 6 months delay. And it goes boom, 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 and on the underarms is 3 years. By month, whatever, like that. I think that's a good solid, okay? And things seem to go good, but just slow. Okay. And my brother was the same thing, I think, but and he didn't seem to get fucked up emotionally for I guess. So if they did something, that'd be weird. Because I didn't go to the doctor a lot, didn't get shots, didn't get something. So it probably isn't, right? Or something, right? Because it might be just something, but that's kind of rare. I think it's 1 out of, what am I getting it right with boys? If you end up with a 3 year delay, but everything else is going good, it's not otherwise a problem. It's it ends up at the same place. You get 1 out of 30 boys, right, are that far, and that's it's really skewed. Something like that, right? Or more. And so, and I was born in 1964, October 64. So, maybe not. Okay, so a little bit before that, before the divorce. Because the divorce happened when I was 12. A little bit before, maybe kind of earlier. Oh yeah, no, way earlier. I had some neurosis. I started out, I think I was shaking my head. I do a thing, a nervous tic or something. I shake my head and I have to have my brain hit the sides of my skull or something, rattle my head or something like that. And it's from my dad being a psycho. But now I know it's all the pressure they put on us. So I did that, and he'd see me going on, and all of a sudden I shake my head really bad. I was like a fucking mess. I looked like a retard out in the yard every so often I had to do that. And I think that's what my mom say. I have to get some counseling. I have to get some thing. And my dad, they all fucking work that shit, man. That's all the thing. The one counselor, yeah. No, they didn't do anything. Bad. One guy works at not sociology department, the psychiatry department, so that could be all free. And the other guy was Dr. Gordon Plum, and he was really cool. He had a motorcycle, and he rode me on his motorcycle before. And he was cool actually, but he's with a thing, or he's got his little ears perked up. He's Mr. 70s. He's it's the Cronenberg movies. If you could just watch a Cronenberg movie and it doesn't turn into a monster show, but it's got all the other weird stuff. That guy was so fucking cool. That guy, Dr. Plum, Gordon Plum, he was the cool guys in the Cronenberg movie. Before everything goes a mess, or they have to go through a lot of tensions. He seems like California. He's some really cool guy. He's from. Seems like he's Greek or something. He's fucking cool. Yeah. But so I went to that, but that would be $25 copay, or half pay, because it's $50 a session, and that was way back in the 70s. But okay, so I had the thing where I shook my head, and also a thing where I'd spit, and I think that's the first thing that ever happened. If I ever had spit in my mouth, I would have to spit it, and I would never swallow my own spit. And that went on for a while. And so I'd be out in the yard, I'd have to constantly spit. And then people act like they got a bitch about it. Actually, that was probably fake. Because I went over to the, they're lying, they just hate me anyway. Like, I went over to see to go to the house of the head of the sociology department. Like my dad's boss, the chair of my dad was chair of the sociology department for a little while and then stopped. Like when that guy left and then he stopped being that. But I'm so lazy. But that guy, those kids, like it went on in their backyard and I hadn't seen them for a while. And then they're doing, I don't know, they're being 11. And so we go in the back and it's like the guy and his friend, there's a guy and they're like, oh yeah, you gotta do this thing, initiation. You know, they pull down their pants, you gotta kiss the other guy in the butt or do some thing. And I don't think it was just their thing. I think they were just being like fucking with me and shit. But they did it to each other. Then we gotta run through the bushes and do a thing. And I don't think that was real. Oh shit. Okay, one time, now I know. Oh. So I went, we were both at school. The public school turned into Christian school. And you guys know the thing and all that. Like, shut it. You gotta, God, man. But that was like a few blocks from my house, and my other friend, sociology department kid, he was like, we come home we're gonna walk home from the playground. So for some reason we're at school a little late or something like that. And on the playground there's that giant turtle. And that playground is the first grade and the kindergarten grade. That's the one that's out in front. And it had that turtle. And so up, like underneath the turtle and the turtle's head was a bottle of wine. And so me and the dude found it. And we go back to his house. And then we go behind the thing and he wants me to drink some. And he acts like he drinks some, or he does. And he pours it all around. And it was so weird. And that was fucking fake. I know that now. I just like, as soon as I bring it up, it's like, yeah, like he probably found it. I don't remember who found it. It was probably both of us there. He tells me to go in there, and he always look in the turtle's head, and there's a bottle of wine there. And it's all this stuff, and like he does the thing with the wine. I don't know what to do with the wine. I wouldn't drink it. I'd go around, and like he actually gets this super naughty thing, or precious that we have. We're like probably might be in the first grade. It wouldn't be kindergarten. Probably in the first grade. Damn, when I was in second grade, I was on my roll. I used to get girlfriends and stuff. And he actually fucked that up once. He called me Mr. Hawks, like I'm married. Mr. and Mrs. Hawks. And he just like, but, so that's what it was, man. So, yeah, I took the bottom line, went to his house, and I didn't know anything about it. Like, that's a naughty thing, yeah. Like, it's not, like I wouldn't know about it. Like, you're just supposed to have it or covet it or anything. And he drinks some, or acts like he does. Like, now I'm thinking he might have been acting. And tells me I should drink some. And then he, like, throws it all around and does some outrageous, like, weird thing. And I don't think he fucking drank it. I think it was a fake out, man. Like, I was behind his playhouse. And it was the fake. It was the fake. Shit, man. I would have drowned too. Like, I was at his house. He got the big swimming pool, and the mom said, like, tell the teenagers, you gotta watch us. And if they weren't watching, I would have drowned. Now I think even that, like I said, it's just over my mouth. And they probably timed it out too, right? They know it's a magic time, right? You go around a circular swimming pool, and pretty much it's all good, right? And circle around, and you kind of just bounce and keep your mouth just over the water line, right? But it's not quite all the way even. And you can go around one part of the pool, and you get lost and like fail to function. Because I couldn't dog paddle. It had to be just bounce off the bottom and keep functioning and get some water in my lung. And I would have drowned. Like, I bounce up, I got some in my lung, and I didn't know how to dog paddle yet. And then when the teenagers just came and pulled me right out. And they're probably watching it. I know that now. They were. So I'm like all grateful, thinking how it's great, thinking how they're their shit together. God, I remember she come and do the thing. Oh, that thing damn man, I wonder with the that thing with the chlorine and something that kind of floats in the pool or goes on the side because it's one of those above ground pools. And she put it in. She said, "Don't ever touch it. Don't ever touch it." Or something like that. And I was just so curious. It was an interesting box, and it's all weird, right? So I ended up touching it, and I probably didn't get it. So it doesn't fit back together. Maybe it's just hard. You can't really fit it back. Like you lift up the top, and it doesn't really go back on, and it's kind of a fail. So maybe I was conscious of that. Yeah, like a puzzle, right? And so I sneak away, and then later she comes in, has me do it, and she has it. Did you touch this? Ken, did you touch this? And I was like, no, and feeling real naughty. And they probably fucking set that shit up too. They probably fucking did, man. That's so funny. Oh shit, man, they did. Because that was some shit, man. Here's the one when I first came to Carbondale, they dropped him off, and I was supposed to play with that kid. He was kind of cool too. And so he was just, that shit was an act, man. He went heavily into theater later or something, I heard. It's like fucking, damn, man. They got this shit going on. Yeah. So that's what that is, man. And all that shit with my dad. Yeah, I don't think the Holocaust, it's like they hired everyone. There's this whole track that does people fucks with them individually. It's like Facebook. We had Facebook before Facebook, all the networking. It's like the MI6 and God knows whatever, or like everyone. And then they don't announce it. It's just like, it's like people get worked in all the university towns. And damn, man. See, here I am with I guess it's been that way with the working class, or the working class antecedents. Anything. Damn, man. Like, down here. It's like really cold for Florida now. It's like some horrid cold spell, and everyone's gonna be all fussing. It's too cold. man. Yeah, I'm sitting down now. Got water in my ear. So, Lyndon LaRouche is from Lynn. Lynn and Saugus, that's right next to Rear Beach. You go up the beach and long part of the beach, it's like, goes up the Saugus River. And that's where Saugus and Lynn is. And, just Lynn up there. And so that's where I was going, Revere Beach. Have my things, and there's stuff up there. Talk to this one lady. Does that make sense? I was thinking one thing. Trying to think of what someone said. God, now I know, man. Damn, man. Like, one guy, like once the state police, this guy told me, like, he went out to, oh yeah, so he went out to Revere during one of those big storms. There's two really big ones. One was like in a nice weather, September. Might have been that one. I could actually swim in it, but in and around that. And the state police guy, he was walking down the sidewalk, and the state police guy screamed at him to go this way or go that way. And so the guy thought he was going the right way, so then the state police officer came and acted like he was going the opposite way of that he'd been screamed to, and just beat him, threw him to the ground and beat him, and arrested him for assault on a police officer. And like, it's a true, and I'm sure that's true. Unless the guy's like totally lying, but if there's any incident and it's true, the guy seemed traumatized. God, maybe it's even like they're putting fear in me. That's what they're fucking doing. Fucking shit. But that's one of the things that got going with Black Lives Matter. So that might have been a thing. And I think that guy was in my six. Because he'd be around the temple and stuff. But there's a chance it's not. No, it might not be. It could be played in God knows which way. And he's gonna go work at the post office or something, right? So which is that? Who does that? Who gets to do that? Or is it like fucking wide open? Talks like that. He might actually be not. But he has his friend, and then a little bit later, our other friend, the one guy that's like, not just like one of the white guys, who's like he was hanging around. He was like a few weeks or a little bit later at the East Boston station. God, what's that called though? Fucking, I'm so out of it. I used to just get out at that station, East Boston, and look at the ghetto booties. All the girls have ghetto booties. I wonder if they have Kevlar. Some of it back then. Might have been, man. That's regarding they got the Russian girls with ghetto booties. Maybe some of them were stacked up. They had some bulletproof ass. You know. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Sorry. Or they use it. But, like, and they both got jumped. They saw a cop. Like, and it sounded like because my friend was, like, that dude was nervous. The white guy. Like, he looks like as he get beat. And so then the cop came, fucks with him. And they arrested the one guy of color for being in the country. And he went in jail, and he's going to get deported. Never come back. Something like that, so he disappeared. So I might be all shit they're feeding me. And that guy would go to the temple. That guy would go early. Hang out with this other guy. So I know it's all the way good. And that's why they're like fucking fake out. Like they were playing these guys, man. You know, these like MI6 think they got it, and they got all this shit stacked up. They don't know there's a whole other fucking thing behind. Higher shit, or like inside, like you can see how I am. Like oh, fucking, there's like their morality or something, or a spiritual thing, or God, we used to swim in October. I'd be like just swimming. See, I'm shivering now. And I'd be like talking to my friend. It's like, why? It cold? Because like he was getting a little older, and you break after you get older. But I was still like 40 something, 47, 45. I'd be like, no, or 40. I was like, no, if I get cold, I was shivering. I just go back in, get some more shock, and then it feels warm again. It's badass. Man, I used to get that. I used to do that. Damn, I dried out. Man, I dried out. Man, if this was like fucking summer, I would not be dry yet. I can't fucking dry. I'm all the way dry except for my bathing suit. That's where I fucking got it. See? Damn, man. Oh, pretty much all the way dry. The big thing is, so I don't know anything, but if you take, like, my attitude, or like all these motherfuckers down here, and all this just shit goes on, and you can think, if that, where you could really think conspiracy theory or whatever fucking, because that gets to be like, they do make it a thing, you're not supposed to think that. And you just do economic analysis. You could really fucking work stuff and see how it go. And then you analyze people who put their money where their mouth is, and do analysis of them and their behaviors or certain things. You know, the investors and the activity. And you probably just figure stuff out, like in a lot of ways. Because all the stuff I'm saying, like, it would always play out in real estate, in company stocks and bonds. Everyone's secretary, no one shit, all the insider trading that they fuss about. And it would always be playing out, and that's where you see the field of action. And analyze what it is. And it's probably not even some secret in a certain sense. It's like the money. Like it's like a discrete thing, all the sexuality thing. If I could just put it in that category, put it out of the closet. Now they're like, I was doing that in the 1950s, and I'm so proud. You know, with the money, it's like it'll also be, it has to stay illegal. They didn't pay their tax, or this or that, insider. So it stays. It's like the quiet. It's like the. So it's like the Yeah. So it probably is like that. And it's how the money goes and how people stack up their house and their thing and power things. And then there's not a power section that has to appeal to the American people and explain to them or tell them to wake up. Like you have Alex Jones, which is all fake. You know, it acts like it's some big mystery. Some like fucking, fucking God. It's like they got it all goofy like that. It might tend to stay that way because it might always be. Like, I think the more you know, if you know actual stuff, you'd be like saying stuff that's embarrassing your friends or different stuff for the money thing. So it'd probably be, and it probably just entwines with all other stuff, all other scandal or weird shit. Yeah, so we used to swim up in Boston. So now I can just come down here and swim. I think they're having a cold spell up there, up north, right? It's like wind and snow, sleet and rain. Yes, that's what that is, man. God, man. I should have known, too. That's what it is, man. I get this feeling. See, I haven't seen any of my family. Like, I don't know any of them. All my cousins, we used to go there, like, religiously, like, or something. We were out in Illinois, but we go visit them. When I was little, I went there for Christmas, and a couple times they came down, my grandparents. We'd go up and see all the cousins. Every 3 years, I think I was somewhere when I was 6, 9, and then 12. And it stopped. We'd drive across country in a station wagon or whatever the hell to go up there. And so I guess I was 12, and then my cousin, she's older, L1. What is it? It just kind of makes me think, maybe it's just me. Like, she's just so smart and regular and just fucking... It is, man, I'm telling you. Oh, okay, yeah. Man. Going to LL Bean, we used to go to LL Bean, like all the way back. When it was just LL Bean. The original, just a store. Just up there. Bean boots and stuff. I don't like the way I would get a pair except that, and so they don't have that, I need to wear them barefoot, because you can wear them barefoot. Except for that damn, like, edges in there, like it goes. I have to get someone to fix it, maybe. Because, the leather part will catch on your heel and stuff. But other than that, you can just wear them barefoot to be perfect down here. I used to wear them barefoot, and my heel was kind of adjusted. Getting scraped, but I guess you put something in there. Another piece of leather, right? That'd be good. That's what I should wear. Should get some bean boots. Damn. So I wonder. Yeah, my dad said he was gonna say something, but I never said it. They got him all wrapped up with guilt. And really, it's like they work him. Here, you can be in college, you gotta go drink and do this and shit. That and your shit. You got everything. I work it up on their end. Because my grandfather, his father, he's got the same name as me too. I'm like the second. Kenneth Hawks, Clark Hawks the second. My grandfather is the first. So I got named after him. And, shit. But, like, he was a Unitarian minister, they used to talk more. If our girl, they used to talk. So I heard that he had a breakdown once. Had a, what do they call it? A mental breakdown. What do they call it? A nervous breakdown. That's a term. That's from the 40s, 30s, 40s. It's probably nervous breakdown. A nervous breakdown. Like, so I'm guessing it was like, maybe 1945 or something. So they have to move down to, 1945 or 65. So they moved. They were up in Maine, and they're in all the paradise. They're up in Portland and the place, like west, like a couple miles, 2 miles. Westwood, or what is it called? Something. That's where my dad ended up. Oh shit, I'll tell you. They did my dad too. They didn't do him all the way, but they timed it, man. I'll get to that. Damn, man. I know I did. Because actually I said that. But my grandfather, he had so he had a nervous breakdown. And that must be why he had to go and get a job, be a minister down in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. God, is that or no? That's in the 50s. In the 50s, my dad would be the class of 1953. So he gets out of high school in 1953. So they have to go through that after World War II. They got North Attleboro, and he's a Unitarian minister. And my dad always is upset, like he has to go there. Because it kind of sucks. But that must be the middle of the stuff too. And they're probably working my grandfather, like he has a breakdown, you have to work him like that. And they get him all in the game. They're all jammed up in Massachusetts after that. They're not just because you gotta kind of go up through Boston, past Boston to even get back home. So you might as well. You're in the thing, man. You're near Boston. Then you're not just up in Maine. Yeah, my dad, he died on December 20. Well, yeah, okay. The coroner report. Call a coroner. Call the coroner. The coroner report is cause of death. Chronic ethanolism. And why the hell do they say that? Oh my God, or you could be fucking old. You're like 83 or something like that. You could be like that. Because they always want to be, and what's the other shit not known. It's that, right? And my dad wasn't drinking ever. He had quit when before I was 3, just right before my brother was born. And he wasn't ever drinking. Because I'd smell it and notice this stuff, and he's white knuckling it, as they say. He's white knuckling it, right? Because all this shit's locked up. All that AA shit's locked up too. And the shit, you see, I could tell you some shit, patterns. But so he has to say that, so I know, because that's the only way I'd ever know. I could maybe look at the pictures and be yeah, okay, he must. And he said something once, the only time I ever drank is over in Zimbabwe. It's sounds like he's under the tree with these guys playing dominoes, but they got him drinking over in Zimbabwe. Yeah, that's British. British fucking run that shit. He was on a Fulbright grant, which is fucking MI6. All the fucking way. The whole structure of it. So he ended up just in Zimbabwe a lot of the time. And they got him drinking over there a little bit, and he's all fucked up, finally. And so when he dies, they have to say on the obituary, chronic ethanolism, and say date of death. It says December 20. And then for notes, it says date found, they went and found him then. And they probably made it, so it's gotta have December 20th. You gotta put December 20th on there. You gotta just put that on there. Because that's the day my dog died. And that's all the way. That was orchestrated. My dad, I'd do this on the thing. So we have to stop at his office, and then he goes in there, and he's probably talking on the phone. whoever's like with the dog or whatever, like in the neighborhood. It's like the dog yelling, barking, because you have to kind of watch it. No, it's going down good, you know, or something. Maybe someone slipped with some fucking thing to calm down too. Go to sleep, die on the ground. And then he comes and that's his office. Like, you had to go up in there to fucking do that. And some other shit. I always find out. The shit is, I keep thinking of Bobby Fischer. Bobby Fischer. I wish there was more video. If they could have just kept the fucking shit rolling and see what he says. Even if it's all off the wall, you get some real stuff. And what they do, see how they do it. Then I heard that he's rich when he died. He has the big ass estate, so it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, I thought they wouldn't pay him. It's like, I don't know, man. He's out in Iceland or whatever. Like, shit. And it's so funny, you can never have a Bobby Fischer. Everyone's gonna know they're just hooked up to a machine. And it should be, we should have it. See, I watch chess videos for hours. There's one channel, Chess Wisdom. Or is it Chess Network? Chess Network, right? And there's also Chess Wisdom, it's like this thing talks about. Chess Network has a thing that says, "Hi everyone, I'm Jerry. Hi everyone, I'm Jerry. Hi everyone, I'm Jerry." It's like Hal the computer, the perfect computer narcissist. So we're in an age with the computers, and it says what all the moves the computer would do. It compares all the old games, all the old Bobby Fischer games, and it's the best ever. And it's all computer generated. I'm convinced it's perfection. It's like the human soul in the making. And I can't even play chess, I just watch it. It's like a spectator sport. I'm like, you know, the old guy with the beer, drinking beer and watching football. But like, maybe he's got some expertise, you can ask him something. You know, that's how I am with chess. I just watch it. I don't even want to try that. Because who would be like, oh, I gotta put this thing here, there. No, I like to hear what they say, why it won't work or what this thing is, and it's very interesting. My dad got me a chess computer. It's one of the nice things he did when I was like 16. And he could take back like 3 moves. And it's really, it's so cool being able to play like that. That was a weird thing. I used to play chess with someone in college, he said, my dad, and he said he'd get actual hives on his skin when he was losing. Like, it would actually break out, and he'd break out in hives. And that was probably the shit, and they're playing him, working him. I thought I never had a good mind for chess, but maybe I developed it a certain way. But I might not. It might just be like very, like just average. If you take like really, kind of smart people around, it might just be average. Like as far as like innate ability, is that innate the right word? I'm not sure though. Thinking maybe this is a pot smoking. And Dad have pot. Like got me smoking pot. Oh, did I tell you A Child's Garden of Grass? Look up that book. A Child's Garden of Grass. So when did that come out? So I moved out to my dad's house. My dad makes me live out there. And he fucking never buys books. And he's a professor and he's bullshit. I used to go buy a book, give him a receipt, because he deducts it from his taxes, and he'd talk about it, and he wouldn't give me the money. He wouldn't give me any money. He would just take it off and he wouldn't encourage me to buy a book. Like, I give it to him anyway because I don't want it to go to waste. But since he's a college professor, he says he can deduct anything like that. And it's probably all some scammy shit, and he's got a million things going on. And I didn't know I could just go through the trash everywhere, go around, to a trash can at a bookstore or whatever, used bookstore. I was kind of out of it and isolated. But until I got to Boston, Then, yeah. There's some stuff, man, because you can look at it. You just go, you do the Israel stuff and all the Jews and all the stuff coming from Canada. Everything goes around and everything, because these guys are, have like that dream I had. There's a Holocaust. It's like, it's not safe. And then they lie. They don't just say, oh, and then you gotta do that with Palestinians. There's gotta be this whole underground thing, though. Or, like, as far as it needs to be analyzed, actually do anything practical, too. But it's life or death, at least. And there's a certain thing with families and continuing and continuity. I guess you can have corporations and associations and recruiting associations. But like, see me, I'm independent alone. I'm intellectual. But you can have someone like, displaced from family. And so it wouldn't always be about, they're always so into it. Like, oh, us is our identity, our groups and families and living. It'd be like more of a thing that works with money and recruiting. But some of these guys are for like preventing it. And there's got to be the almost civil war they had, right? Like a couple summers ago in Israel. And there's got to be some reality to that, right? And it's like different sides. You got the technical guys versus everyone wants to just live there. And who knows what? I was saying they're not losing that war. They're going to they got all the tunnel stuff. They master the tunnels. They go on top of any fucking Hezbollah or Hamas tunnel and they just fucking own it. It's all going to be about the Red Sea, all this stuff. And they'll just go underground. The fucking Israel will be underground. Like, it's crazy. It's like they're just fucking lying and hiding it. And then they take Hezbollah. Damn, man, that's why they don't give me any of my stuff for this court case. Like, all the body cam, like, I don't know if the prosecutor, like, takes all the body cam. That's, because that's been disclosed to my mom. Like, well, she's gone now, but she quit and she ran off to another job. And that's my third lawyer. Now I've got my fourth lawyer, which hasn't called, hasn't talked. I think she'd be like, how are you? I'm here. But and my lawyer on her last day, well, before that she filed this thing, like, I gotta be crazy, I gotta be mentally incompetent. But I think she did a slew of those. Like, everyone was like incompetent. Like, there was like 3 of them or something. My wife was saying, because I was in and out of the court, but likewise we had to wait. So the lawyer's like, it's going to be last week and everyone's crazy and I'm going to go. And I filed all this stuff. Like, everyone's like mentally incompetent. Now we have to have an exam and I'm going to be quitting. And I'll have a new lawyer with this outstanding order of a mental exam. And they don't want to get I think someone's playing them. They don't want to get my stuff. I was thinking of my medical records. They don't want to know they don't want to know me. They're going to like, that's what I'm doing. And hey, ooh. You think Daniel Ellsberg, man. They're probably getting played. They're probably getting pushed to like be like, touch that, touch it. It's like, or just another railroad track. Yeah, you should touch that one. I almost peed on a railroad track once, the third rail. Actually, I did. Wait, didn't I? Yeah. But I didn't have it turned on. It's probably on purpose. Because I used to go, my friend would be like, you gotta go down. Where our Harvard Square would be like, everything's closed. We gotta go down. We gotta run the tunnels. I never did that though, but we get in Porter Square and run the tunnels. How does it go? Porter Square, the other, or maybe Porter's back to, Porter to Harvard, then coming up at the end. Yeah, and out. But that was all he had inside. Like, that guy was so cool. All you want to do is see him out in the middle of the night. Long street. You gotta go in the tunnel, man. We gotta go run the thing. That's before 911. So it's like cool. You could just run all the tracks and shit. And But that was like with some privilege. I had the fucking thing. Now you know, right? Like there's a certain kind of thing with it. That's so funny, isn't it? They probably do want some people familiar. I could go in those I go in the tunnels, and I had a session. I had to go, man, I have to go through Kenmore. I have to go out. Okay, like one night I have to just do something. God, what did I do, man? I went out. I did one of them once. Middle of the night, it's time to go, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going in, man. Like at Copley or something, and I went all the way out. Maybe I got out of it. Maybe in your auditorium, but there's like this one thing and they keep it locked. It's not supposed to. They have these little outposts and stuff. Ways out, but yeah. So you can do a little bit of that. And they want that, actually. That guy, the homeless guy, man, I put like $2 in his shoe. And he's probably one of their guys. Like he's sleeping there, I put $2 in his shoe. As he's sleeping there. They wanted me to take the money too. Up at Andrew once, they had this guy with like $500 coming out of his pocket, kept doing it, $100 bills. And it wouldn't be like they would just have me all naughty and stuff, like and just like grateful, naughty, and in the thing a little bit. They weren't gonna like. That was the thing that's when he had Andrew, and then another time they let me meet the guy, like you'd hear about him, because they had the Phoenix. The real shit, like you have Andy up in Copley, who fragged, like, he said, I think it was 7 lieutenants, I don't think it was just 5. Like, someone's got to be the guy that does it. I don't know, there's like 1,500 in the war or something, and he's the guy, and that's a continuation of Phoenix, that's the whole fucking thing. He got hit, and had to lay in a rice paddy for 3 days, like all cold, like hit got near his spine, so he's like still a little bit, just partly paralyzed, and he had to be in a wheelchair when he first came back. And he'd be like, and it's obsessed with blankets. Are you in your blanket? Kenny, you in your blanket? Kenny, yeah, blanket, you're in your blanket. We're all in our blankets. We're all in our blankets. Like he'd be really into that. That was his thing. And then they would tell me about, or I'd hear from here and there, but there's the dude, I can't remember who he was, but the guy in Southie, that's the guy. The super homeless, the super like fucking cowboy movie. Somehow they just keep him please stay out of prison, just be. Because I went up there, I ended up seeing him once, and he wanted to go out. He said, I'm going to get some stuff, we're gonna all rob drug dealers all night long. It's like, right, man. I think it was the guy too. They talk about him. Maybe it's not. Maybe they're just like shit by that, but they run some shit. They were doing some other shit too. Because they're like, what does he do? He runs around the street and doesn't do anything, and he doesn't even steal anything. He doesn't do anything. He just like runs around, and he thinks about things. That's weird. And he has to drink. Or he had before, like he used to take. See, my big thing is like I never did any drugs, never street drugs. So that's how it's cold. We did that down in Homestead. No drugs, no street drugs, or nothing. Like they get it. You get in the head. I got that thing. It's weird. Like I could never. And so I do DXM, like cough medicine. I got into a problem with that, and I wouldn't tell anyone. I wouldn't even tell any homeless guys, because I'd be ashamed. So I didn't think that. And then I could be. It's a dissociative, and I had the right personality where I can run it. I used to be able to go to Harvard Square on that stuff, pick up a postcard, like the old stuff, and just full on go back in time, transport back in time, like hallucinating. See all of Harvard Square, looking at the postcard, and then looking out at the street, and like go in a time machine. There's a certain kind of intelligence to that. One of the first things you got to drop is like, it's not like then something. Like it's like you're just getting free association. It's your imagination, the other shit, and you get into intuitive pieces. Like, and one thing I saw this guy, and he looked kind of like someone else, somebody I knew. So like 80%, and I was thinking of like, why can't it be he's like, why isn't he like 80% of that guy? So I go up and sort of talk to him. Like, why is he all the way a different guy when he looks 80% similar? And like, and so that thought can go, because usually a thought gets blocked. It's like a little bit or whatever. They're like, oh, because that's got individuals like something else, but like as a dissociative, it can kind of go a little bit more. But you don't just like cross it out. And man, another thing, I was thinking of an Escher painting. Okay, so I wasn't drifting off to sleep, but kind of like I was like in bed 2 nights ago. And it's like a scene of people walking, because I've like saw stuff at the temple. It's like from watching the Boston ISKCON stuff and trying to analyze it. Oh, what's actually going on? My old videos are, and it's like thinking about, God, if there were more videos. So it's a whole crowd of people, and they're walking, right, and doing stuff in action. And I look at it, and it's like flips. It's like an Escher painting. Instead of all those people walking, maybe it's a couple people, even though I don't actually see them. Or something like it doesn't all the way. It's like, when you're in Escher painting, when it flips, like stairs, they're the right side up, and all of a sudden they're upside down, sideways. So it's like that thing where the first thing is negated, but it's not the second thing flips in. So I get it, like a sense I could negate, and there's something where all the lines are there, but it's like where there was vacancy, there's people, and where there's people, there's sky or space or something like that, but it's like in a sort of moving form. And it's like, it's something about it's just that the way, if you could just drop it, like, in an Escher painting, like you can't drop it. You can see the stairs are right side up, upside down, but you can't just drop one. It's always one or the other, and it flips. At least in my mind, flips back and forth. And you can't just make it drop, and you certainly can't see them both. And it was like that sense of just dropping it. And then what's there? Or what would be there? There or something. Kind of like a... Yeah, so... That's what they did, man. So they fucking, yeah, they did some shit. They did some shit. They went kind of... There was some shit coming on. It wasn't just, oh, my dad's divorced from my mom, so she doesn't even go up there. We don't hang out with them. Like, they'd have to talk to my mom, and it'd be like my dad's jealous. No, there's some kind of, like, thing. There's some weird fucking thing, man. That's just shit. But... yeah, they weren't expecting that, though. That homestead going on all that other side. Colby is godfather of my kids. Like that was them. They told me to have kids. I never would have. Like, I'm on a track. I'm kind of weird. I would have just been like kind of that middle class that like when they get displaced, they do a weird thing. They have their lost 20s time just for the kids, especially for someone like me. It's like an odd thing. And that's why I even got together with my wife in a certain way. And it's a certain thing, even though I'm going through my other stuff, there's that thing. And it was all one night they did it. And like they broke, break protocol, like all the way. A couple of times they broke protocol, 3 times or 4. And then one time it's like they all the way, fucking made it like crazy, like the thing. But as I said, that typewriter. But told me I had to have kids. And every time they sort of said, oh, maybe you should join the Air Force. Maybe. It wasn't funny. That was the other time they broke it. Like, maybe you should join the Air Force. And the other time it was like, who fucked up your head? Who fucked up your head? Who fucked up your head? It's like that, right? Like, who fucked up your head? And it's all out of place. That ain't ghetto, man. That ain't ghetto. And it's like, all of a sudden, I gotta go talk to those white people. I gotta go talk to those white people. They say,